Hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are gonna talk about Sigmund Freud's theory about psychoanalysis.
Firstly, I want to say about Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud is considered to be founder of the psychodynamic approach to psychology, which looks closely at unconscious drives that motivate people to act in certain ways.
Thank you, my friend Arnat. So I see that a lot of people, as always, my friend.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, thank you. So we have a lot of materials that we want to show. First video. Please, show it.
Sigmund Freud is one of the most famous names in psychology. Even though most of his ideas have been abandoned by modern psychology, his psychoanalytic theory formed the basis for many current psychodynamic theories. Freud was the first to discuss the unconscious mind and its role in human behavior. Freud believed that there were three levels of consciousness. First is the unconscious mind, which exists outside of your awareness at all times. Next is the preconscious mind, which includes all information that you are not currently aware of, but that can be recalled. Finally, the conscious mind is your current state of awareness. Remember the cartoons you used to watch as a child? The main character is confronted with a choice. On his left shoulder is a little devil pushing him toward a bad choice. On his right shoulder, a little angel is encouraging him to make a good choice. He is stuck in the middle and forced to make a decision that will affect him. This scenario is much like Freud's theory of personality. There are three parts to personality according to Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory. These are the id, superego, and ego. The id is the first to develop, the ego is second, and the superego is the last to develop. The id is the biological component of the personality and includes your instincts. The id operates in our unconscious mind. It is like the little devil sitting on the cartoon character's shoulder that's always selfish and needy. It operates according to the pleasure principle. The pleasure principle is the idea that all of your needs should be met immediately. Then there's the superego. The superego exists in all three levels of consciousness. The superego is like the little angel. It is always concerned with what is socially acceptable. The superego pushes you to obtain the ego ideal, or your view of what is right. It also represents your conscience, or your view of what is considered to be wrong. Finally, we have the ego. The ego operates in your preconscious and conscious mind. The ego is part of the personality that makes your decisions. This is like the cartoon character in the example. The ego is in the middle, makes the decision, and faces the consequences. The ego operates according to the reality principle. The reality principle is the idea that the desires of the id.
Thank you to Lisa Rondi for a very interesting video, and the next video was sent from Australia. Arnat Shelby.
Be honest with oneself is a good exercise. Dr. Sigmund Freud. I'm in the original European Inner World Masters Psychoanalysis home office, sitting in a reclining chair where Dr. Sigmund Freud analyzed patients from between 1891 and 1938. A psychoanalyst's couch, like the one Freud's patients lay on in search of relief from inner world turmoil, is stretched out in front of me. I'm writing step 4 to you from Vienna, Austria. Imagine how the Victorian era Viennese public must have reacted when Dr. Freud first introduced the idea to the world that our behaviors are driven by all sorts of things that occurred in our past, and which are often not at all conscious to us in the present. Over 100 years ago, that culture-rattling insight changed the course of history. Foremost, because it changed the way we understand how our self develops. Dr. Freud recognized that we're each exposed to formative experiences and insights, and that although we may have forgotten those important events, they are continuing to inform the moment-to-moment recreation of ourself, and so how we feel and express ourselves each moment today. Dr. Freud taught us that many of the experiences that influence how our self is produced today occurred before we were able to form lasting conscious memories at all. Although all of our life's experiences cannot necessarily be brought into our conscious awareness as memories today, Dr. Freud saw that they often left a lasting impact on how we behave and what automatic emotions we experience throughout life. Unconscious experiences derived from early life events influence your habits, choices, and behaviors throughout your life. Your unconscious history form the iterations of yourself that rise off your bridge of translation today. Dr. Freud observed that moments of challenge or trauma often continued to grow within and emerged in a morphed form as emotions and behaviors later in life. He saw that some seeds planted flower over time, while other seeds grow and decay. Either way, unconsciously planted seeds often morph into new aspects of your life by changing the moment-to-moment contents automatically occurring in your inner dialogue, and so becoming the different versions of yourself each moment.
Thanks a lot for Wayne Shelby, but in this video we have found that this theory is not acceptable, and thanks for your attention.